Welcome back. You're watching Young Turks. We're bringing you all the action from Elevate 100, an initiative by the government of Karnataka to fund and mentor some of the most innovative startups in the state. Now, one of the pillars of this program is to create a platform for honest and candid experience sharing. I caught up with Vikas Malpani, co-founder of Common Floor, and Pavitra Vyas of Vindhya E-Infomedia as they shared their stories of success. Take a look. What has Vikas Malpani been up to? Since you resigned after a year that Common Floor was acquired by Quikr for $200 million, what have you been doing?
So first and foremost, I'm trying to catch up on life. I'd been doing this for about a decade. So after that, I actually wanted to know what life felt like.
And I believe you've been working with a lot of startups and founders.
Being an entrepreneur, you're always passionate about a lot of these ideas. I was advising a lot of those young entrepreneurs.
So when will we see you up and starting another venture?
There are definitely very interesting sectors like healthcare, AI, government transformation, etc.
And will it be with your two co-founders or?
So at this point of time, we are all taking our energies, and instead of at one time mainly exploring things, we are all exploring parallelly. So you never know.
Pavitra, let me come to you. You were only 22 when you started off Vindhya Infotech. How did you really come up with this idea of engaging the differently abled into the mainstream?
Things really happened very fast in my life. It could be marriage. I got married at the age of 19. I had my child at the age of 20.
Yes.
And, then I said, I think I'm done with all these things. I need to do something which I like. And I always loved to be with people. The only thing I knew was Excel sheets. And I said, okay, data entry is the only place where I can get into. And that's how I started Vindhya.
Yeah.
Even when I was starting, I was hearing a lot of my friends who were talking about BPO, and the biggest issue there was attrition. And that was a discussion we were having, and we found a person who was disabled crossing a road, and that's when we decided, no, we want to work with this community which is differently abled, and we started with working with people with disabilities.
Yeah, and I believe today you have 1,500 employees, of which 60% are differently abled or have some sort of impairment. That's a pretty huge number, Pavitra. Convincing clients, was it tough that, your workforce was productive enough? I'm sure the initial convincing must have been very tough.
Absolutely tough. When I went to people, there were two expressions. The moment I spoke about my idea, people were like, wow, this is nice. And when I said, can you give me a job? They were like, oh, there's a question mark. These were the kind of feelings which I used to capture. But what we did was we said, give us a small pilot. For some of our customers, they didn't even know that, we're working with people with disabilities. We just told them, give us a pilot. It could be as small as, 100 applications or, work where, we did this, and we went back to the customer and they said, we really like your job. And only when they visited, they realized that there's a whole new set of people who are working here, but the productivity or the quality or the expectation is absolutely meeting what customer wanted.
And you haven't lost one client till date, right?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate that we've been growing only through customer references in the last 11 years, and we've never lost a customer.
Similar challenge, I believe. The initial days were tough. You were a bunch of young guys coming into this rental space. How did you get your big break, and what were the initial sort of challenges?
We were trying to build an idea that was a lot ahead of its time, which was trying to create these neighborhood networks, hyper-local neighborhood networks within the apartments, because we believe apartments are going to be future. And most of these people didn't understand what we are talking about. And internet was a scary thing because like most new technology, people don't trust new technologies. So we had to actually go there, help them, explain it. And many times he'll say, you call us and tell us what you need to send out, and we will actually make it work for you.
Pavitra, you've very successfully brought philanthropy and business together. You turned profitable, I believe, in 2014. Take us through your revenue model. Take us through the numbers. I believe you closed last year with 26 crore rupees. Take us through the model.
There were two things which, as an organization, which we followed, which really helped us. One, we never say no to any person who's walking to Vindhya for a job, especially a person with disability, which is what has helped us to get into any kind of job, which comes our way. The second one is basically saying no to any job which comes your way. For example, there were jobs which were as small as 1,000 data entries of just a hall ticket number, which would fetch us 10 paisa, which would pay our electricity bills. These were which helped us to still mark a revenue which could be a positive 100 rupees or 1,000 rupees, and still manage your expenses of 90 rupees electricity bill.
Vikas, selling common floor, was that a tough decision? Was all the three co-founders on the same page, and what motivated you to do that?
Selling a company is always a very, very tough decision, specifically if that's been your life. Nearly a decade of the entire young time we have done that. We had already achieved near the peak of online real estate already, and we knew what's going to come in next couple of years. We had seen this was our third cycle of the entire ups and downs, and this was either you can reduce your strengths or you can build up on strength. So we actually went ahead aggressively looking for the right partner so we can grow. After the merger, we became the largest in the traffic terms. So the whole thought was, look, even a downturn is an opportunity, and in fact a downturn is a very big opportunity for you to grow faster. And that's how we approached this decision, and we said it's best for the stakeholders, it's best for everyone to make the most of this opportunity and grow stronger out of it.
Take me through your future plans. You're in expansion mode. You're already in Bangalore and Hyderabad. Is there a pan-India plan? And also, I believe you're also looking at setting up a skill development center. Take us through that.
We are looking at a larger inclusion as an organization, and we are planning to come up with our own inclusion city, basically, which is a large city where people just come there, get trained, live there, get employed, maybe get married, and stay there and live a life. That's our larger vision, and want to reach 5,000 people in
by
the next
2022. Are you on track to achieve that?
Absolutely on track.
The conference also laid emphasis on driving women entrepreneurship in Karnataka and saw huge participation from women entrepreneurs. While Nivruti Rai, General Manager, Intel India and Vice President, Platform Engineering Group, Intel Corp, and Ratna Prabha, Additional Chief Secretary to the Government of Karnataka, shared their journeys, I caught up with Shanti Mohan, co-founder of Let's Venture, who busted some myths about women entrepreneurship.
We have less than 10% of the startups who have women founders.
Okay.
But I think the interesting data point is that there are less than 1% of women investors on the platform. So less than 25 angel investors who are women. And of course, in the VC world, we don't see too many of them. There are probably less than 5 who are kind of in the venture investing space. I think as an ecosystem in the last 10 years, we've seen a lot of women come up as entrepreneurs. And I think the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see women investors emerge.
All right.
Because a lot of them now understand how to run a business, how to go raise money. But I think that is a lag effect which the ecosystem has today. And I really believe that the next 5 to 10 years, this will change.
All right, Shanti, now I would like you to bust some myths around women entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So there are 2. Right? One is that women founders don't get funded easily, because the data which we have shows that 20% of the startups which are being funded are have women founders.
Okay.
And they don't have women founders because they want to bring a woman because they want to bring in gender equality. They have a woman because she brings real value to the table.
Yeah.
Right? And she brings in the skill which is required. She actually brings in business acumen. And the other very interesting data point is these women founders, the equity is at parity with the male founder.
Okay.
Right? So they are running equal roles with their male founders. So almost 20% of the startups which are getting funded are have women founders in them. And second is, in the last 1 year, we've seen almost 100% year-on-year growth of women being in the founding team of startups, which is basically, we are seeing the glass wall starting to break.
With that, it's a wrap on this special edition of Young Turks. As always, tell us what you thought about the show. Write to us at youngturks@nw18.com. Leave us a post on our Facebook page. Do watch out for all the news and highlights about the show on our Twitter handle as well. Until next week, from the entire team, goodbye and many thanks for watching.